Kent State students have the chance to win the housing lottery as housing applications are no longer first come, first serve.
Kent State students filled the student ballroom for FAB's annual Red Dress Gala. Find out more about the eventful weekend coming up.
Another neo-Nazi demonstration happened in Ohio. This comes after one in Columbus in November. Here are the details surrounding the confrontation that followed.
The remains of the 10 passengers aboard an Alaska plane were discovered in the Bering Sea. All this and more as KSTV News at 6 starts right now.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Good evening, Portage County, and welcome to Kent Stater TV News at 6 p.m. I'm Michael Neenan.
And I'm Nikki Gajeski.
You know something, Nikki? The new year may have just begun, but students are already looking for housing options for the next year.
Yeah, our reporter Landry Torres is here to tell us about the newest housing application. Hi, Landry.
Hi guys, that's right, and as students look to apply for housing, the university is making updates to its housing application policy. I spoke with university housing and students about the changes. The housing department at Kent State University recently announced a surprising change in their housing application process. The intent is to ensure that students have enough time to fill out the application without added stress.
Since everyone was getting on it once, it would sometimes it would crash and then people would get kicked out. So we're just trying to alleviate people's stress and kind of just give them more time to do it.
Students' requests for housing operated on a first-come, first-served basis, and residents acknowledged that this system can sometimes interfere with getting the dorms that they want.
I was in the middle of, it wasn't early or late, but my roommate was late, so it was affected because she picked later than I did.
The housing department shared tips on Instagram for students who want to live on campus next year. Students are encouraged to take their time filling out the housing application and thoughtfully answer each question.
All the students can apply from February 1st to May 1st to be in this lottery. May 9th, we'll come out with the lottery numbers. They're kind of just randomly generated, and then you get that via email.
The housing department admits that their old application system is somewhat unusual and that many people are surprised when they discover that priority is given to the applications that arrive early. Current Kent State students, however, are skeptical to this new procedure.
It's interesting, to say the least, that I don't get to pick what I want first. Especially since I am trying to get on the deadline this time.
The housing department is confident in their decision to switch over to their new method, and they say it's a process used by many other universities as well.
Our first come, first serve basis was a little unique compared to other universities, so I feel it's a pretty normal process to have.
That's all I have for you tonight, Portage County. Stay up to date with the latest from the housing department by visiting kent.edu. For more stories like this, visit kentstater.com. Landry Torres, KSTV.
Thank you, Landry. This week is Black Love Week, the intersection of Black History Month and Valentine's Day. Black United Students is hosting a movie night featuring the movie Brown Sugar tonight in room 250 of Oscar Ritchie Hall from 8 to 10 p.m. The week leads up to the Love Lottery at the Student Center Ballroom on Thursday, an event dedicated to giving back to the community.
Ken has also just announced a new campus map and helping locate universal bathrooms. In an email, the university says the new enhanced map finds single occupancy bathrooms through a filter option called universal restrooms. The email further states how this search is in compliance with Senate Bill 104, which will take effect on February 25th.
You know, Nikki, I heard over the weekend the Flashes Activity Board hosted a Red Dress Gala, which, to my knowledge, was a formal for students.
Oh, that's right, and our very own Trinity Chapman was there to capture the whole thing. Hi, Trinity.
Hi guys, that's right. I was in attendance for the Red Dress Gala over the weekend, and everyone was looking wonderful in their red attire. The student ballroom was packed with red dresses and sharp suits for the Flashes Activity Board, or FAB's, annual Red Dress Gala event. The gala provided a prom-themed setting on a college campus and gave students an opportunity to dance with their friends to a set list created by a Kent State student DJ who played various pop hits and throwbacks.
Yeah, so I really want people to just have a chance to come to a really nice formal dance. Some students might not have been able to experience a formal dance, such as so I really want people to just have a chance to come to a really nice formal dance. Some students might not have been able to experience a formal dance, such as a prom, or some other students might just want to relive that night again. So we just wanted to bring that to college.
Students were able to attend the event along with their guests and had many activities to participate in, such as card games on the balcony of the ballroom and a backdrop for Polaroid photos on the main floor. The event was made available to students free of charge, as FAB's goal for the event was to bring students closer together.
I really think that Kent State's mission is to bring togetherness, bring people of all different backgrounds together to have a fun time. So that's kind of what this event is for. This is more just an opportunity for students to come out and have fun. We know it's cold out, so we appreciate people for coming out and coming to this event.
FAB hosted the event for students to take a break from their academics and to have some warm, dressed-up fun with their peers. FAB will continue to host more events this week centering Valentine's Day to keep students engaged with the community. For more information on upcoming events such as this one, be sure to follow the Flash's Activity Board's website and social media pages. For KSTV, I'm Trinity Chapman.
Thanks, Trinity. Moving to Akron, the university announced it will end funding for its annual November Rethink Race series. This comes after President Trump's executive order to stop federal DEI programs. The school says its decision complies with legal and regulatory requirements on all levels of the nation government. The University of Akron still plans to host events honoring Black History Month.
A movie is being filmed right here in Portage County. That's right. A film titled Divorcing the Mob is in production at Guido's Pizza and Catering in Ravenna, as well as other businesses around the city. The film's plot revolves around a former mobster and his wife who attempt to get out of the mafia by moving to a small town. The film is still in production and no release date has been announced.
Highland Schools delayed the start of class today to de-ice buses. The de-icing comes after icy weekend weather conditions. The district even said in a message that a significant amount of buses were covered in ice in the past few days. Efforts to remove the ice took longer than anticipated, causing a delay in addition to morning preschool canceling. The Post further explained school ended at its regular time.
Your first forecast on Kent Stater TV.
Good evening, Portage County and my mom, and welcome to the long-awaited first forecast. To get started, we'll take a look at the current conditions in Kent, Ohio. It's around 26 degrees, but because of how chilly it is in general, it feels more like 21, cold all around. The wind is not that strong, thankfully. It's around 4 miles per hour, which is very nice considering this past week it's been pretty much around 10 for the entire week. Cloud cover is also around 86%, so it's not looking like you're going to be able to see the stars tonight at least. And then looking towards the hourly forecast, at 7 p.m. it's going to drop down to 25, at 9 p.m. it's going to drop down to 24, and 11 p.m., guess what? It's dropping down again, but this time it's at 22. Not really a chance of rain tonight, just going to be real cloudy and real cold. And then looking further tomorrow morning, it's going to be around 30-ish, around 10 a.m. It's going to be cold, it's going to be cloudy, but as the afternoon progresses, the temperatures will start to rise, and then as the sun goes down, the temperatures will also go down. The wind isn't that strong, it's around 2 miles per hour, and there's not really any chances of precipitation, so you don't really have to worry about that for now. But That is all the time I have for this weather block, so let's toss it back to the desk.
Thank you, Jenny. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine appointed former Youngstown State President Jim Tressel as Lieutenant Governor. Tressel, who previously served as the football head coach for Youngstown State and Ohio State, replaces former Lieutenant Governor John Husted, who was appointed to the U.S. Senate by DeWine following Vice President J.D. Vance's vacancy.
Now going to Cincinnati, where residents confronted neo-Nazi demonstrators on Friday. The neo-Nazi supporters wore all black and waved swastika flags along the highway between Lincoln Heights and Evendale, both historically composed of black communities. While police separated residents and demonstrators, video shows the Nazis fleeing the scene after the confrontation in a U-Haul truck. You know what they say, find a penny, pick it up, have good luck. Well, that might be hard to do with a recent decision made by President Trump.
Hear all about President Zelensky's stance on having peace talks with Russia's President Putin.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. Victory. Fumble. Repeat. It always came back.
Dad!
Okay, here we go, throw it!
Yeah.
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Nice.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Your community.
Your stories.
The remains of all 10 passengers of the missing Alaska plane were discovered on ice on the Bering Sea this weekend, according to officials. The Nome Volunteer Fire Department announced over social media that the individuals were transported home. The incident has been labeled as one of the deadliest plane crashes in the state of the last 25 years.
Well, if you cost one set, you may be in trouble. By you, I mean a penny. On social media, President Trump released a statement saying the U.S. has minted pennies for too long. Further, he says this wasteful spending and has instructed the U.S. Treasury to stop making new pennies. To clarify, nothing has gone into effect yet, and production is still happening as of now.
Over the weekend, a winter storm hit the Midwest and Northeast regions of the country. States like New York and others got more than 8 inches of snow, and one spot in upstate New York got 14 inches.
The Great Lakes region, like Ohio, saw more than that amount. 3 more storms are expected to hit the eastern area, in addition to the already snowy places in the next few weeks.
Keeping you informed and ahead of the storm. This is your KSTV weather.
For the second time, good evening, Portage County and my mom, and I've got more weather to talk about. So to start out, we'll take a look at these statewide temperatures. Down near Kentucky in Cincinnati, it's around 41 degrees, so it's feeling nice and warm. Around mid-central Ohio, it's 34 degrees. Up north in Toledo, it's 32. Going further east, it's about 27 degrees in Akron, Canton, that area. South in Athens, it's around 38. And over yonder in Pittsburgh, it's around 30 degrees. But if we zoom in a little bit into northeast Ohio, we can see that it's getting a little bit more samey. Up in Ashtabula, it's around 27 degrees. Down in Youngstown, it's about 26. Here in Kent, it's around 27. Akron, Canton, also 27. Cleveland, also 27. And then Worcester, Mansfield, and Sandusky are all around 28 degrees. But you know what? That really just means it's cold. But I think it's time for our 7-day outlook. So tomorrow, Tuesday, it's going to be cold. You guessed it. Not going to be that much of a chance of rain, but high 33, low 22. Wednesday, it is going to be raining cats and dogs. Listen out for those barks, those meows. It is going to be raining. But it's also going to be cold. So just make sure that you be a little bit careful where you're stepping, because you might step on some freezing rain, also known as ice, and slip and fall. Be very careful. On Thursday, it's not going to be as rainy, but it's still going to be just as cold. On Friday, it's going to be dropping even more, so it's still going to be cold. It's going to be a little bit more sunny though, not just cloudy. Taking a look a little bit further down, on Saturday, it's going to be raining cats and dogs again, but it's going to be warmer, hitting 40. That's awesome. But on Sunday, it is going to be going back down again. 31 with a low of 7. Womp womp. But there's going to be a morning chance of around 60 for some snow. So at least we'll have snow to look at with all that cold. And then on Monday next week, it's going to be cold again. But that is all the time I have for weather today. I've been me and you've been you. Have a great night and stay warm. I'll see you next week, and you'll see Nikki and Michael right now.
Thank you so much, Jenny. A lot is happening in news around the world, but our correspondent Emilio Hernandez is here in the studio to break down these recent stories.
What do you have for us, Emilio?
Thanks, guys. Good afternoon, Portage County. I'm Emilio Hernandez, and I'm here today to tell you some international news stories. So let's get into it. After 3 years of war, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said he's ready to negotiate with Russian President Vladimir Putin. In an interview, Zelensky said he's willing to negotiate with Putin in Russia, but only if the United States and Europe provide security guarantees and continue to support Ukraine. 5 Thai workers were released after being held hostage in Gaza for over a year. After spending 10 days in an Israeli hospital to monitor their health, the 5 former hostages were sent to Thailand's capital, Bangkok, where they arrived Sunday. Thai Foreign Minister Maris Sangiampongsa said that Bangkok will continue working to secure the release of the remaining Thai hostage. President Donald Trump is announcing tariffs on steel and aluminum today. Analysts say that the tariffs may help domestic producers, but they could also cause higher prices for Americans. Also, in response to President Trump's new tariffs on Chinese products, China is putting tariffs on certain U.S. goods. This includes a 15% increase for certain types of coal and liquefied natural gas, and 10% for crude oil, certain vehicles, and farm equipment. And that's all I have for today, folks. For more stories like these, go to kentstater.com. And stay tuned for more from KSTV. I'm Emilio Hernandez. Thank you for watching, and have a great day, Portage County.
Thanks, Emilio. Were you Team Rough or Team Fluff? We have the results for which one of the furry teams stole the most hearts and took home the Barkey Trophy.
The Kent State men's basketball team competed in a nail-biter over the weekend versus Arkansas State. We'll see how the Flashes came out on top when we return.
We know you work hard, so come spend your lunch with us at the Bistro on Main. We've been serving the community for 3 generations. Only a quick 10-minute drive from Kent State's campus. Make your breaks count at the Bistro on Main, where friends become family.
Will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
This is your Kent Stater TV Sports Report.
Ever dreamed of being in a Super Bowl commercial? Well, back in December, Taco Bell gave their fans in Middleburg Heights a chance to be in theirs. Fans featured in their ad went through the drive-thru where cameras were filming them like a photo booth experience.
Some Ohioans who appeared include Channel 3's Mike Polk Jr. Other customers featured came from states like California, Tennessee, Texas, and Florida.
During the Super Bowl, Nike premiered a commercial including notable athletes such as Sha'Carri Richardson, Caitlin Clark, and Asia Wilson. The ad was posted to the company's YouTube channel with the description, "There's one guarantee in sport. What you'll be told you can't do, so just do it anyway." The commercial ended with the phrase, "You can't win, so win."
Another notable ad was the Pfizer commercial. The ad featured a young hospital patient being cheered by others like a professional wrestler. Words come on the screen saying, "Hey cancer, we're gonna knock you out." Viewers see the tiny wrestler getting the chance to go home and ringing the cancer-free bell. The commercial ends with Pfizer's plan to fight for 8 cancer breakthroughs by 2030.
Good evening, Portage County. My name is Maddox Miller, and we had an eventful weekend in the world of sports. So no more wasting time. Let's get right to the action. Starting in Kent, the men's basketball team took on the Arkansas State Red Wolves on Saturday at home. The Flashes won a tight 76-75 game to improve to 15-8 on the season. Kent State was led by senior guard Jalen Sullinger, who scored a game-leading 27 points, and junior forward Delrico Gillespie, who also added 12 points and 9 rebounds. The Golden Flashes will look to make it a 3-game winning streak tomorrow as the team welcomes in Central Michigan tomorrow at 7 o'clock, which can be watched on ESPN+. Moving down south, the Kent State women's basketball team traveled to Alabama to play Troy on Saturday. The Flashes would bounce back from their Wednesday loss with a 84-73 win over the Trojans. Kent State was led by sophomore forward Janai Tyler, who scored a career-high 26 points, and senior guard Jenna Batch, who added 20 points of her own. The Golden Flashes will return home for a matchup against Miami of Ohio Saturday at 1 o'clock. The game can also be watched on ESPN+. Now moving to the main event of the weekend, the Super Bowl, where the Kansas City Chiefs took on the Philadelphia Eagles. Kansas City looking to three-peat, but the Eagles would have other things in mind, as in the first quarter, Jalen Hurts would be pushed in for the first score of the game, going up 7-0. They would kick a field goal to go up 10-0, and Mahomes and the Chiefs looking to get back into it, but Mahomes would find rookie cornerback Cooper DeJean, who would take it all the way to the house, a pick six on, for a fun fact, a Cooper DeJean birthday. So a nice birthday present for him. Up 17-0 late in the second quarter, Jalen Hurts would find A.J. Brown, who would be able to walk his way into the end zone. This game was turning into a blowout, 27-0 third quarter. Jalen Hurts with a deep bomb to Devontae Smith to go up 34-0. Jalen Hurts with 3 touchdowns on the day. The Chiefs would look to get back into it, 37-6, but it would be a Milton Williams strip sack. 6 sacks on the day for the Eagles in total as Philadelphia wins 40-22. And now looking to tonight, the Cleveland Cavaliers host the Minnesota Timberwolves at 7 o'clock as Cleveland looks to make it 7 wins in their last 8 games and maintain the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. To do so, they will have to take down the 6th-seeded Minnesota Timberwolves, who is on a 3-game win streak of their own, as both teams look to build momentum heading into the All-Star break this weekend. And that is all I have for you tonight. For all things sports and more, tune into Sports Corner tonight at 8. For KSTV, I'm Maddox Miller.
I feel like her heartbeat is like same speed as mine. And I think we have this like deep connection, this heart connection in her heart, that there's room for me and Mom. When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
She's really good with Anya. I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns like she's from a different planet. And this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, you know, it's gonna be cool. She's my superhero.
Good job, Kitty Cat.
When we adopted Lucky, we discovered all the wonderful things that make her unique.
Lucky's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly she's pure love.
Well, that is all the time we have for you tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.
For these stories and more, check out KentStater.com and our socials at KentStater. For KSTV, I'm Nikki Gajeski.
And I'm Michael Nanan. Have a great night, Portage County.
Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now. No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, have a good time. Seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic. To change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall. And make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first thing that helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Good morning. Hope you all had a good weekend and are ready to be inspired. One quick thing I want to remind you guys to be studying.
Major key alert. Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Today we're talking about inspirational quotes.
You want to get that paper? You better turn in that paper and get an A+. That's a major key. Another one. Mogul talk. You want to reach the mountaintop? You got to go hard. To succeed, you have to believe. Stay focused. Fly higher than the eagle. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise! Louise!